Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the fridge. On the menu tonight, World of Tanks. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the Czechoslovakian Tier 10, the TVP T 5051. Our gameplay footage is from Partik 11. He is playing in a grand battle on the Nebelberg map. Continuing on from our look at the Grille 15 in the last video, this time we take a look at the middle section of the map, where there seems to be a reasonable amount of action. Our hero tank sure makes the most of the TVP, finishing the game with only 2 shells remaining and a massive haul of damage for his efforts. So let's do this in the usual order, starting with the gun. The TVP sports a 100mm cannon fitted with a 4-round auto-loading system. With just short of 24 seconds to load a full clip and only 1.5 seconds between shots, this gives the TVP a reasonable 2700 DPM, only 300 or 400 behind other single shot tanks, and well ahead of the batchat. 320 damage per shot is on the low side, but clip loaders are about burst damage, pinning their target down and punishing them for getting caught. With an average of 1280 damage in its magazine, it's almost 700 damage short of the batchat per clip, but this is more than balanced out by the significantly shorter clip reload, just over 14 seconds faster. Aim time on this gun is good, although not excellent, at 2.01 seconds. This does put it ahead of the batchat and STB1, but behind the Object 907 or T62A. The dispersion is a average 0.34, putting it behind the T62A but ahead of the batchat and 907. Gun elevation is very good with 20 degrees, putting it well ahead of the other tanks except for the Leopard 1, which also has 20 degrees. Depression is reasonable at 8 degrees, with only tanks like the Leo and STB1 having more. When it comes to the survivability of this tank, it does not look good on paper. With a hull armour of a mere 65mm on the front, 40mm on the sides, and a tissue paper like 30mm on the rear, this is one hull that is not going to be keeping anything out. The turret is stronger, with 120mm on the front, 80mm on the sides, and 60 on the rear. You may be able to bounce a round or two at the right range or angle. The hit point pool is low at 1800, which puts it 200 hit points behind the Object 907. Mobility is a strong point with the TVP though, with a 60km/h top speed forwards and 20km/h in reverse. This puts it ahead of most tanks, behind only the Leopard 1 and the batchat. 1000 horsepower shoves around the 40-ton tank, giving it a good 25 horsepower per ton, putting it behind only the batchat. When it comes to concealment, the TVP comes up short compared to the other tanks I looked at, with the Object 907 actually being the most stealthy. So while you can hide in a bush, keep in mind you're not really designed to, so use that mobility when you can. The TVP has a good view range of 410 metres, which does enable you to use that mobility, get out the front and spot for your team. Given that I don't own a TVP yet, I'm going to have to defer to my wife, who has both a batchat and a TVP. When compared to the batchat, the TVP shows better survivability in good hands, and with that quicker reload, you're never waiting around for your shells. The gun depression is sufficient to play on the ridge lines, and that extra armour can be the difference between life and death. The lack of mobility is mostly on paper and isn't noticeable on the battlefield the majority of the time. Thank you for joining me again in the fridge, and I hope to see you here again soon. If you enjoy my work, consider supporting me with a like and subscribe, as well as sharing my content on your favourite social media.